Well, greetings everyone, and welcome to a very special online event today. It's called Crack the Code of Creation. Dissolve blocks and increase your manifesting power through Yoga Nidra and ancient yogic knowledge. My name is Stephen Dine. I'm the founder and president of the Shift Network, and I'm really blessed to be with you here because recently my inner guidance is all about alignment, not trying to push things into manifestation, but aligning with the deeper forces and currents of manifestation in a way that really just brings things into reality more easily because they are part of a higher template that wants to come through. So we're going to get to explore the yogic contribution to this field and in a way that creates a deeper sense of relaxation and rest and ease while also still doing what you're here to do and to create what you're here to create. So we're going to get to explore this with Dr. Marc Halpern. He's a Ayurvedic doctor. He's the founder of the California College of Ayurveda and the co-founder of ABO. And so we are really blessed because he's just got deep expertise in the field, has taught a number of shift programs, and has a lot of mastery, particularly of Yoga Nidra, which we're going to focus more on today. So, Dr. Marc, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Stephen. It's an honor to be here and to be able to share sacred time with the Shift Network and the Shift Network audience. I'm so pleased to be here with you.
Beautiful. Well, we're going to have this time and we're going to get as much value as we can from Marc's insight and guidance. And we also have a chance to go much deeper in a brand new program with him called Cracking the Code of Creation. And we'll share more about that towards the end of the hour. So, Marc, I'd love for you to begin our journey today with a little bit about your journey and particularly into the ancient science of Ayurveda and why Yoga Nidra became really this important portal for you in aligning your life work as well.
Yeah, thank you, Stephen. Well, it's been a huge part of my life to create the life of my dreams. We all have a dream. You have a dream, I have a dream. Everybody listening to this podcast has a dream for what they want to create in their life, whether it's a dream about how much financial wealth they want, or maybe starting a business, or maybe having the ideal relationship. We have our dreams, but we don't necessarily know how to manifest those dreams. And for myself, I struggled through a large part of my life with trying to figure out how is it that I can create the life of my dreams. I wanted a wonderful relationship. I wanted a great relationship with my kids and all the things I think that we tend to dream about. But these things didn't come easy to me. I had a lot of challenges. I wasn't born with the tendencies to be able to manifest, to be able to become successful. I had to learn those skills through the blessings of my teachers and also through trial and error and practice. And over time, I learned how to create the life of my dreams. I was able to create all the things that I wanted to have in my life. I created a successful business, the California College of Ayurveda. We built a whole profession here in the United States. We built associations. I was able to manifest a beautiful relationship with my wife. I have a wonderful relationship with my children. The financial needs have been met for my life, and my health is excellent. And one of the techniques that I owe that to, really, all of this capacity to be able to manifest is Yoga Nidra. And I'm sure we'll talk a lot more about Yoga Nidra because it's a remarkable technique, not just for relaxing our bodies. We think of Yoga Nidra and we think about relaxation. What most people don't realize is that Yoga Nidra is actually a technique for mastering your life. It's a technique for mastering reality as we know it in this life. It's different than other forms of meditation that are for transcending reality. This is for mastering reality, mastering the ability to create what you want in your life. So Yoga Nidra has been an important part of that. And so too has the deeper knowledge of yoga and the deeper knowledge of Ayurveda really prepared me to be able to be successful. I had some wonderful guides and teachers. I couldn't have learned it all on my own. I had people like the Vedic scholar, Dr. David Frawley, spiritual teachers like the Reverend Roy Eugene Davis from the Yogananda community, and Swami Shivananda, which has played a tremendous part in my life. I've spent a lot of times in the Shivananda yoga community learning these deeper techniques for how to live our lives in a way that not only helps us to manifest our dreams, but allows us to feel fulfilled and allows us to really at the heart level and the mind level integrate the two and really to experience a very satisfying life. And I
Hmm.
think it's really important to know that it's not that, you know, I have some incredible knowledge to share. It's really through the grace of my teachers and the grace of God that I'm able to share with you and to share with your audience what I learned about becoming successful, about manifesting the life of your dreams.
Hmm. Well, it's beautiful that you've been so successful and to do so from this deeper spiritual standpoint, since I think almost all of us we inherit programming that's success is about hyperdrive and pushing through limits and all of that, and it seems that the Yoga Nidra philosophy is in many ways the opposite of that. So let's talk about a little bit about why this sort of deeper state of relaxation is actually central to this state of creation.
You know, everybody creates. Everybody is a creator, but most of us create unconsciously. We have created our lives. If you look at your life and everybody listening looks at their own personal life, you'll see that where you are today is really the end result of every choice that you've made in your life. And so we are at that place, the sum total of all of those choices, but we do it unconsciously. And we don't really have a vision for what we want to create. We just kind of go through life trying to figure it out. And and this course and yoga nidra and this knowledge, this deep, deep knowledge of yoga is about becoming conscious. And conscious in the context of becoming aware, acutely aware of what it is that you really want to create. You know, I wanted to create healthy relationships with my children, healthy relationship with my wife, enough finances to be able to live comfortably. And I wanted to create the California College of Ayurveda where I can teach other people. And I wanted to create a profession for the knowledge of Ayurveda and the knowledge of yoga here in the United States. And so I became conscious that that's what I wanted to create. And now it became about how do I do that? How do I go about doing that? Yoga Nidra is one of the tools that the students are going to learn in this course. It's one of several beautiful, deep yogic tools of wisdom for how to shape life as you would like it to be. In Yoga Nidra, yes, you get into a deep state of conscious relaxation. You know, Yoga Nidra is becoming so common and so popular today in yoga studios. It's become the favorite of so many students when they go on a yoga retreat is their time to go and do yoga nidra, to lay down and to relax all the various parts of the body. But there's another part of yoga nidra, and that part of yoga nidra is called sankalpa. And this is the part of yoga nidra where you actually project reality out into the world. Sankalpa, according to Swami Shivananda, very beautifully articulated, he says we project reality through our ajna chakra. That's the point between the eyebrows. We project reality out into the world and then we experience it. So the real question is, what are we projecting out into the world?
Hmm.
Now, Yoga Nidra is taking that and amplifying it. We're going into an altered state of consciousness, and then we're going to project our vision of reality into the world. And when we do that, we actually motivate the forces of the universe, the building blocks of reality, to move and reorganize in a way that actually creates our dreams. It's a
Hmm.
beautiful, beautiful practice.
So what differentiates this from more kind of Western visualization techniques?
That's a great question. You know, first of all, the knowledge of yoga is many thousands of years old. It's often called the mother of all knowledge. It's rooted in the Vedas, and the Veda means knowledge, and it's the knowledge of life, it's the knowledge of the universe, it's the knowledge of nature. That knowledge has most certainly spread throughout the world and influenced the thinking of so many great thinkers all around the world. And one of the beautiful things that came out of this is the concept of visualization. It really started to become very popular in the 1970s. I remember a beautiful book called Creative Visualization that was really, really remarkable book. And it talks about how if you visualize something, you can begin to create it. Now, that's what I would call ordinary visualization. Yoga Nidra is visualization on steroids. It's amplifying the power that moves through your vision. It's an altered state of consciousness in which it's as if your body is asleep, but you become the witness. Uh, you become a conscious creator. There is a beautiful story that I'll talk about that talks about how the whole universe is the dream of God. And we are all a part of that dream. Each of us creates our own universe as well by learning how to dream. This is part of the deep yogic knowledge that we'll be experiencing, that we'll be exploring. So when you align yourself with the divine power of the universe, which we do in Yoga Nidra, and then you channel that energy through you and you project it out through your capacity to visualize in that altered state of consciousness, my gosh, it is so much more powerful than just ordinary visualization. And we'll talk about ordinary visualization in the course and where it fits into your life, because it does fit into your life. This, though, is a practice that is going to amplify it by 100-fold, by 100-fold. And then the beautiful thing is the universe just goes to work on your behalf. It builds the reality for you. All you have to do is that practice.
Hmm. Now, when you're doing the practice, are you primarily trying to become an open vessel for the larger design of the universe to flow through and being kind of more neutral about that? Or is it more you start with a vision that you really want to create and then you're trying to access the highest level of consciousness to help bless and empower that into being?
My gosh, this is such a great question too. You know, there is your vision of what you want to create, and then there is the gifts that you have and the divine vision that moves through you. Now, where you are at your most powerful is when you are able to align your personal vision with the divine vision that wants to use you, that wants to move through you, that wants to create through you. We are at our most powerful when we get out of the way. I'm going to say that again. We are at our most powerful when we get out of the way and we become a vessel for the divine Shakti, the divine power of the universe to move through us and unfold through us. So we all have a personal dream and we also have a divine dream. Our personal dreams are those things that I want for me because I'm going to benefit. And our divine dream is those things that move through me that are going to benefit humanity, that are going to benefit everyone. And what we're talking about here in Yoga Nidra is that when you create, you can create that which is going to benefit all of creation, all of your community, and also can benefit you. And they can be in alignment with each other. And only when they're in alignment with each other are you at your most powerful. And only when they're in alignment with each other will you feel the most fulfilled when you create. Otherwise, even after you create one thing, you'll feel empty again and you'll think, oh gosh, what am I supposed to do? Even though I created that, I'm not really very happy with what I created. But this way you will be. When you create and you allow yourself to be an instrument of the divine will, then you will just feel beautiful on the inside and your life will look beautiful on the outside.
Hmm. Is there a point in this process where you're also focused on clearing whatever limiting beliefs, understanding, psychology you might have around something like, oh, who am I to manifest this? As a way, there's often these subtler levels of programming. Is that something you're also working with in the deeper state?
Yeah, and we're going to be talking a lot about that during the course as well. We'll certainly enter into discussions about our beliefs and the role that our beliefs are playing in our lives and where our beliefs come from. Our beliefs are, we think that we believe what we believe because it's true. We mistake belief and truth. And we say, well, what I believe about myself is it's real, it's true. What I believe about the world, I believe it because it's real, it's true. And we're going to come to the realization that many of the beliefs that we hold, well, they're not necessarily real and they're not necessarily true. And that's the difference between a belief and a truth. And beliefs are one of the steps in the building of reality. So we have to align our beliefs that allow the vision to move through us, that allow ourselves to be a vessel. So you can think of a limiting belief, using the language you used, as an obstacle to the divine flow of the Shakti, or the divine flow of the power of the universe. We're going to have to rearrange those beliefs. So yes, we can begin the process of rearranging the beliefs through Yoga Nidra, but there's another technique we're going to be utilizing during the course as well, called Pratipaksha Bhavana, which is another technique in the deep classical wisdom of yoga for controlling your mind. Because what are those thoughts that move through your mind? What are those feelings that you're feeling? And are they rooted in your beliefs? There is a technique in yoga called Pratipaksha Bhavana, which is about becoming highly, highly aware of your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs, and learning to work with those and turn them around. So we're going to be addressing that technique as well as Yoga Nidra during the course, and several other techniques.
I would imagine it becomes particularly important to address some of these areas of like little disruption patterns or little blocks, because the deeper you are, the more powerful you are in that state of consciousness. And so you don't want to be out picturing some of those belief distortions or consciousness distortions.
Well, really, the kinds of things that we're going to be projecting out into the world very consciously is called our sankalpa. And that's going to be a detailed vision of what we want to create. Before we actually do that, we're going to ask the question, what do we want to create and why do we want to create it? We've got to answer that question too. And the answer to that question from the yogic perspective, if you want to access the highest power, comes down to a concept called dharma. Dharma is where we are aligned with the universe, where the Shakti is flowing from above down and the inside out. And so that power is moving through us. And it's moving through us because we are beginning with the question, what is our purpose? What is our purpose? Why am I here? Given my unique gifts, I ask each one of you that are listening, what unique gifts were you given that you came to this planet with, that you came to this incarnation with? And what are you intended to do with those gifts? That's your highest purpose. Let's start with that, just the higher reason for what we want to do. And then we can talk about what kind of form it's going to take that's in alignment with that vision. That's going to be very important. So it has to be true that what we are creating is in alignment with our higher purpose. And then Yoga Nidra projects that creation out into the world.
I'd love for you to share a little bit about why the relaxation and the manifestation components are really complementary when you're doing this, since it is a deeper rewiring of how we think about the creative process from a Western standpoint.
Well, relaxation is very important. We oftentimes get very intense about what it is that we want to create. We also get very anxious about what we want to create. What if I don't create it? Right? Then I'm really anxious about it. And if I'm the creator, then maybe the harder I work, the more I should get. Yoga Nidra is entirely different. In Yoga Nidra, we're going to go through a process that really has three parts. The first part of it is going to balance us. We're going to explore the subtle body. We're going to explore the movement of energy through our bodies. And that matches our thoughts, our feelings, and our beliefs. And as we balance the flow of energy through our subtle bodies, thoughts, our feelings, and belief all align with the divine. And that's where we begin, is this deep state of relaxation, this letting go of all the holding, the control, and the tension in our bodies. And then with that incredible state of ease, we're now able to be really clear projectors for that divine vision.
Mm.
And we allow that vision to move through us.
Do you literally start seeing yourself almost like a movie projector in an old style theater? Because you keep using the term projector, and so it's like I'm getting that visual of like we're seeing ourselves like projecting out the movie, quite
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah. I think in many ways we are. I think in many ways we are doing that. And we're the star of our own movies, aren't we? You know, and we get to write the script, but mostly we're writing from an unconscious place and we're writing a horror story for ourselves. Unfortunately, too many of us are suffering. We're suffering because we're not taking control of the script. We're not taking control. We're not the producers of our own lives, not the directors of our own lives. Yoga Nidra, first and foremost, is the science of mastering creation. Creation in this context means your life. It means mastering your experience for the 100 years that you're here or so that you're here. You know, we have a complex life. Every facet of that life is actually under our control if we're able to harness the Shakti, the power, to be able to control or create that part of our lives. But we have to be able to, we're not taught those tools. I was very, very fortunate. I started getting taught nearly 40 years ago, started applying them to my life 40 years ago. And over time, I was able to create my dream life and overcome the obstacles that stood in the way. A lot of these obstacles came from my karma. People look at me and they go, oh my gosh, you started a college. You're so successful in the world. Wow, you must be a brilliant genius. And many people don't know that I have dyslexia and that I don't learn like ordinary people. I had to overcome obstacles in my life to learning. I had to overcome obstacles to my life. Many people don't know that my innate tendencies are to be disorganized, and I had to overcome obstacles in my life to be able to get organized and channel that energy. What I want everybody listening to know is that there is infinite potential inside of you, unlimited possibility. And if you can harness the Shakti, the power of the universe, through the tools that you're going to learn in this program, there's no limit to what you can create. There's no limit to how you can heal your life, because it really is a healing. It really is a healing when you move from a life where you've created something that is not so good to a life where you've created your dreams. It's a healing. And sometimes that healing is physical. Sometimes that healing is emotional. Sometimes that healing is spiritual. And I think they're all integrated together. The life of my dreams means a healthy body. The life of my dreams means healthy relationships, but it might mean something different for you. And so that's what we're going to be exploring, Stephen, in this course.
I want to ask a little bit about the how much time is required to you think about like manifesting a college of Ayurveda or a shift network. There's a lot of work that goes into that, like in terms of time in the saddle doing things. What have you found there's sort of an optimal balance between the kind of projecting outward yoga nidra, sort of aligning the forces of creation with the actual work? Is it sort of like do you do a bit of that each day? You kind of build it into your creative process. Love just how you think about that.
Yeah, you do have to work on it a little bit, but how you work on it is going to depend upon whether or not you're doing the practices. In fact, whether you even begin to work on it. Let me give you an example. So let's just say you are, by nature, we all have different natures. Not everybody is this way, but let's say by nature you're lazy. And so you're just not the type of person to wake up in the morning and start working on your projects and your planning and all those things, right? And now you start doing yoga nidra and you start practicing it and you start seeing the end result of the work that you're doing. Maybe you're trying to create a business, whatever that is, and you start seeing that business. You're so excited about that business because that's your dream. That's your dream, and you're seeing it manifesting. And all of a sudden now, you're doing this practice every day. And all of a sudden now you're waking up in the morning and you're thinking, I really want to get to work. I really want to build this dream. And so by beginning the practice, it actually motivates you to do and take the steps that are going to be necessary in order to uh, create. Um, I don't know if this, I'll tell you, I'll share a very brief story. This is a story I learned a long time ago, and maybe some of your audience has heard this story because it's not a story that I'm making up. It's a story that was told to me by Robert Schuller, an incredible teacher and a spiritual teacher in the Christian tradition, actually. And he said, he said, he said, you can get in your car and you can sit behind the wheel and you can pray. You can pray that that car is going to start. And you can put your hands together and you can pray to God and you can keep on praying that that car is going to start. But eventually, you're going to take the keys out of your pocket. You're going to put them in the ignition and you're going to turn on the car. And then you're going to thank God that that car started. Okay. So it takes faith, it takes prayer, and it takes effort. It takes all of those things to create in the world. And that was what he was trying to teach in that moment. In that moment, the power of faith, prayer, and action. Certainly, nothing happens without action. But what are the actions we wind up taking? And are we taking them consciously or unconsciously? This course is going to be about aligning everything with the universe, projecting it out into the world through Yoga Nidra, aligning your mind through Pratipaksha Bhavana. We're even going to be doing some very, very special practices that are going to really tap into your deepest potential so that you can really access that power. You're going to do all of that, and that's going to empower you to take control of your actions. Because only we actually build, Stephen. Only we have to take action in the world. But whether we act and how we act depends upon what's moving through us, what we're inspired to do. Inspiration comes from spirit. Spire is spirit, and in means from within. When we're truly inspired, that's when we create.
I think now would be a great time to give a little bit of a taste of this kind of inner work. And I know you were going to lead in the Sankalpa meditation. So,
Yeah, let's talk about the Sankalpa meditation for a moment. So I mentioned Sankalpa briefly, and Sankalpa is really the term for projecting in yoga. And so this whole concept that we project our reality into the world comes from the ancient teachings thousands of years ago of yoga. So I'm going to guide you right now through a short meditation. We're not going to be able to amplify it like we are through Yoga Nidra, as an example. And by the way, this concept of Sankalpa, it's not just visualization. There's more to it than that. We're going to do a practice in the course called Homa, where we're going to do I'm going to teach you how to do it home, and we're going to do it together, a little fire ceremony using a candle, where we're also going to amplify our vision. So there's a lot more to Sankalpa than we've even gone into. But right now, what we're going to do is just sit quietly. So I want you right now to just sit up tall and straight, wherever you may be. Unless you're behind the wheel of a car, I'd like you to stop driving. So sit up tall and straight. Take a full deep breath in and let it out. Take another breath in and let it out. Beautiful. Take a moment to just settle into your body. Relax your hands. Maybe your hands are in your lap. Just let them relax. Relax your wrist, your elbows, and your shoulders. Relax your jaw and the muscles of your face. Relax your eyelids and the crown of your head. Settle into your body knowing that you are more than this body. Be the witness of how you're feeling. Be the witness of any thoughts, any feelings that are moving through you right now. And know that you are more than those thoughts, more than those feelings. Not this body, not this mind. Not this body, not this mind. Consciousness and joy incarnate. The witness. Bliss of the blissful am I. And from this place, just allow yourself to completely relax. Just be the witness of your breath. If you have a mantra or a way of meditating, go ahead and use that for a moment. You can even just use the mantra so as you inhale, hum as you exhale. The mantra of the breath that reminds us of our true nature as spirit. Repeating the mantra with each breath, you might focus on your heart center or the point between your eyebrows. Now, what I'd like you to do is go ahead and create a vision for what you'd like to create. We have so many visions. We have financial visions, relationship visions, business visions, health visions. Whatever your vision is today for what you'd like to create, go ahead and see yourself having already created it. What does it look like? What does it look like to you right now? If you went through knee surgery, see yourself running. Maybe that's what being healthy means to you. But whatever it means to you on a physical level, emotional level, or spiritual level, whatever you're trying to create, see yourself having already created it. See yourself in the world, acting as if it has already been created. You might see yourself interacting with everyday activities, performing everyday activities, but with this new sense of self. See it as clearly as you can. You're able to see in color, see in color. Perhaps feel the change that you're visualizing in your body. Or see how it has manifested in the world. If it's a business, and see yourself interacting with that new creation. There are no limits to what you can create. Think of it as a dream. Just live that dream in your mind for a moment, projecting it out into the world. Natural for the mind to wander. Gently bring it back to your vision. See it once again, as clear as possible. See it, feel it, touch it. Now what I want you to do is in your own heart, turn that vision over to God. Give it to God or to the divine in any form that you relate to the divine. Hand it over as a gift. Because this creation belongs to the divine. Hand it over to the divine and ask for that to be created in the world. Let it go now. Bring it into the hands of God, the hands of the divine. And now, having turned it over, know that the divine is going to support it to manifest, to exist in the world. And now, having let go of it, just enjoy the deep peace of meditation, knowing that there's nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to go. The work has already been done, and the dream is already being created. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste.
Okay. It's a very beautiful process there, Mark. I think it's also just really, yeah, I just kind of want a presence that it's like infusing time, energy, and consciousness into this is working on the creation of the vision too. I think we have to kind of rewire that it's like actually building the subtle architecture for it to take form.
I love that word, the subtle architecture for it to take form, because there's a concept in the ancient yoga tradition called the tanmatras, which is the subtle architecture.
Hmm.
That is the subtle architecture for how creation takes place. And these tools are for accessing that architecture, the tanmatras, which are the elements and the component parts of building the creation. And so that's exactly what we're doing. We're taking this knowledge that has been around for thousands of years, that yogic masters have understood, and we're bringing it into modern times. We're saying, how can this benefit humanity? How can this benefit each person on the planet? I strongly believe that everyone has a right to live their dreams.
Hmm.
Everybody does. I think it's a human right. We just need the knowledge to know how.
It's beautiful. Do you want to bring in the concept of karma and how we can see different legacy histories as opportunities for actually the manifestation process?
Well, the yeah, we're going to be in our very first module. In fact, we're going to dive deeply into the concept of karma. So let's just talk a little bit about it now. Karma is something that's not very well understood in the West. There's different kinds of karma. There's past life karma. There is the karma that we set into motion in this lifetime. There's the portion of karma we get to work on in this lifetime. We're going to explore all of this in the course, but let's focus for a moment on past life karma. What that means is that in our past lives, because, well, let's start with this. We're all on a journey to reach our full potential. Everybody's on a journey to reach their full potential. And when we act in selfish ways, we create obstacles to reaching our full potential. And those obstacles take the form of karma. And we store that karma away in our consciousness. And over the course of lifetimes, from a yogic perspective, we get the opportunity to heal the karma that we've set in motion. And in doing so, we expand our awareness and we realize more of our potential and we harness more of our power. So this is the journey that we're all on. So I came into this world with a certain karma, meaning that that karma creates a certain reality for me. So it created this body. This body is the result of my karma. This body, my parents, I was incarnated through my parents because of my karma. I have all this karma that I came into the world with, even my personality tendencies, and even my challenges. My challenges, as well as my gifts, are all karmically created. The stage is set by my karma. But now I come here and I have free will. And now what am I going to do with those challenges and those obstacles? They're there for me to learn and to grow. Now, as I learn and grow, I reach more of my potential and I harness more of my power. That karma creates what we call samskaras or tendencies. Those are my personality traits. Some of us have the tendency to be able to be incredible manifestors, but some of us don't. I didn't. I had to learn. So I had to heal the karma that was in the way, change those samskaras, those tendencies, and create new ones, new samskaras that now, no matter what I do and where I go, I'm guaranteed to be able to manifest what it is that I dream because those samskaras have been created. But I wasn't incarnated with them because of my karma. I had to learn. I had to learn. We're all different. Some people come into the world and their karma is amazing and they're able to just play the piano and they're like a amazing pianist by the time they're 5 years old. And others really have to learn. Manifesting is the same way, you know? So karma sets the stage. Samskaras are the vehicles, the highways we travel that are going to bring us those life lessons. And we can heal those karmas, those challenges. When we have no karma left, that means that we have reached our full potential. We are infinite potential, infinite possibilities. We have unlimited power. We have no obstacles that stand in the way. The interesting thing is though, from a yogic perspective, when we achieve that, we'll also have no desire to use that power. Because we'll see at that point that we've learned every lesson that we can learn and that we no longer need to create in the world. We no longer need to manifest in the world. And at that time, we exit the cycle of birth and death. At that time, we become one with all of creation. And we become the witness of all experiences and all of life. We are part of the fabric of the universe. We go back to where we came. But until then, we're here in the world. And yoga provides us with the knowledge for how to live a beautiful life, a life where we can manifest our dreams and through that process, learn and grow and love.
Hmm. Well, you're certainly creating a much bigger picture frame for the process of manifestation than most teachers that I've heard. So it's really great to ground this in ancient practices and the deep yogic science of it. So I want to shift gears now and talk more explicitly about your upcoming program, since it's a great way to dive into this and really develop mastery with this deeper manifestation code. So the course that Marc is going to be teaching is called Cracking the Code of Creation, Yogic Wisdom and Yoga Nidra for Resolving Karma and Manifesting Your Dreams. So it's very much in alignment with everything we've shared today and really takes the next practical level. So you can find this at the URL yoganidracreation.com, yoganidracreation.com. It's a 7-week program. You don't have to have any particular background in yoga to do this. You're going to get some of the foundational yoga nidra practices, sankalpa meditation. You're really going to get what you need from this time with Marc. So, Marc, I'd love for you to share in your own words what people will come away with and why this can be really so beneficial. And then let's go through the modules and preview what's coming.
By the end of the 7 weeks, you are not only going to have learned the knowledge that is necessary to create the life of your dreams, you will be living the knowledge that is necessary to create the life of your dreams. I love this format over 7 weeks because each module is going to end with some, I guess we can call it some life work, some things that you can do in between the weeks of classes that are going to take the knowledge that you've learned and utilize it to begin to build your dreams. So you're going to be learning real tools with every single module that is going to transform your life. By the time we have completed the 7 modules, you will be engaged deeply in sewing the fabric of your life so that the picture you create is exactly what you want, not something that was just haphazard, not something you stumbled into, but actually creating the life of your dreams. So you're going to be well on your way at the end of the 7 weeks. Now, to fully manifest it is going to take a little bit of time. And if you continue to practice with the tools you'll have learned in this course, I guarantee it. I really do. I guarantee that you will create the life of your dreams if you utilize the tools in this course, because these aren't tools that I created. These are tools that are part of the knowledge and the wisdom of the universe. These are tools that have been around for thousands of years. They are for the purpose of working with nature to create your life. Your life is part of nature. These are the laws of nature, is really what we're engaged in. We're engaged in learning the laws of nature and the aspect of nature to create and build your life. It absolutely is going to create the life of your dreams. All you have to do is do what you're going to learn. And I learned that myself, by the way. You know, my teacher said the same thing to me. They said, if you do the things successful people do, you'll be successful too. So all you got to do is do it. That's all you got to do. And so I got out of my own way and I just started doing the things that bring about the ability to live your dream. And sure enough, that's what happens.
Module 1 is called Understand How Karma Influences Your Ability to Consciously Create and Manifest Your Reality.
Yeah, here we're going to go through the 3 kinds of karma in great detail, lots of stories about that so that you can better understand the karma, how karma creates those samskaras, those tendencies that we have, the importance of dharma. These are deep philosophies in yoga, dharma, and dharma means the laws of nature and living in alignment with those laws of nature. And when we are, how that empowers our lives, and when we're not, how suffering is just the natural consequence of that. And we're going to use this knowledge to take a look at how we create through the 3 bodies or through the 3 realities. The 3 realities are the 3 worlds of creation, or how we move from what's called the causal to the subtle to the gross. And the causal world is the most subtle aspect of who we are. It's where the seeds of our karma lie. And then we're going to move from there into the subtle aspect, which is the energy body and the energy world. So everything manifests first at the karmic level, then or causal level, then the subtle level, and then in the physical world. So we're going to explore that. And you're going to come to learn how that happens. And it's going to explain a lot for you and why we have to work on all 3 levels. And if we don't work on all 3 levels, whatever we create is going to essentially dissipate.
Module 2, identify the belief systems that are helping and hampering your manifesting power.
Yeah, and we talked about this briefly earlier. Your belief systems are very important. They can be obstacles that are in your way, or they can be the wind at your back. And so we have to look at those beliefs and see whether or not they're really supporting creating the life of your dreams. What's really interesting is that what you believe determines your perceptions. Your beliefs and your perceptions are intricately tied together. The way you see yourself, the way you see the world you live in, is very different depending upon what you believe. And of course, we see that in the world today so much, with so many people with such divergent belief systems seeing the same events and interpreting them entirely differently. Well, if we understand the relationship between beliefs and perceptions, then we also can begin to understand that perception is not that different from projection. If we're going to project a perception out into the world, we have to have the belief system to support it. And so we're going to be exploring that along with the concept of sankalpa. What do you really want to create, and why do you really want to create it? And we'll look at Pratipakshibhavana in that second module as well. How can you take control of your beliefs and your perceptions and your thoughts and your feelings? Now, this is really, now we're in the subtle body, we're in the mind, and we have to have our mind aligned with our spirit. So we're going to talk about that.
Module 3, the practice of Yoga Nidra. Heal your karma and align with new samskaras to empower your deepest intentions.
Well, now we're getting into the Yoga Nidra. And the Yoga Nidra is very exciting. You're going to learn the traditional Yoga Nidra story. The Yoga Nidra is not a new technique, even though it has just entered into the mind space of society. It's been around for thousands of years. And most people actually practicing Yoga Nidra have no idea really what it is. It's become this practice maybe to help them sleep or to help them relax. Actually, it has nothing to do with Yoga Nidra. Yoga, it's a side effect of Yoga Nidra, just like having a good physical fitness is a side effect of the practice of yoga postures. But it's about much more than that. Yoga Nidra is truly the practice of creating reality. It is the practice of mastering the life that we live. And so we're going to go deep into that practice. We're going to look at all the parts of it. We're going to even look at what some masters have said about this practice over time. And you're going to learn the practice. We're going to do the practice together in module 3. And it's going to begin the process of changing your life.
Module 4, release identifications to enter the world of infinite possibility and understand your true nature.
When you understand your true nature, you really, truly do enter the realm of unlimited possibility, unlimited potential, because we are so much more than who we think we are. We are the embodiment of the divine. And when we begin to realize this, we can really begin to tap into that power and allow ourselves to become the vehicle for divine Shakti. We are going to explore the traditional philosophies known as Sankhya and Vedanta and what they have to say and teach us about our true selves. And when we are able to do that, we're going to then be able to do a particular practice called Atma Vichara. Atma Vichara is a practice of exploring our true nature as spirit. And this is a profound meditation, a profound meditation. And by now, you will be ready for it as we explore the deepest truths called the Mahavakyas, the deepest truths of yogic wisdom.
Module 5, access your divine power to remove obstacles and activate the creative force within.
Well, here what we're doing is we're going to be engaging the divine Shakti, this power of the universe, in a way that is going to amplify that power. And we're going to understand the value of what we call the sacred fire. The sacred fire refers to the force of transformation. And what we want to transform is our obstacles. We want to dissolve those obstacles, whatever obstacles there are still there. Some of them may be beliefs that you're still holding on to, thoughts that you're holding on to, old stories that you're holding on to about yourself. The way you're defining yourself, we can hold on to that so much. They could be your fears, they could be your emotions, they could be your anger. We're going to explore all of that, and we're going to offer it into the sacred fire. We're going to learn a traditional practice called a homa. The homa is a sacred fire ceremony for dissolving the obstacles and for freeing up the flow of Shakti to manifest your dreams. So it's really about clearing the channels in Module 5.
Module 6, refine your Yoga Nidra practice and expand your capacity for conscious creation.
Well, now that we've been working with the fire, and you're going to be working with the fire at home as well, and now that you've been working with the fire, clearing the obstacles that are present in the subtle pathways and channels of your body, we're going to go back into Yoga Nidra, and we're going to guide you back into Yoga Nidra. But you're now in a different state. You're now in a much more purified state. And by purified, what I mean is you've dissolved the obstacles and you're realizing more of your potential. And so from that place, we're going to project again. And it's like a new birth into reality. And so we'll be doing that in Module 6.
Module 7, discover self-awareness is the key to creation and empowering the manifestation of your deepest dreams.
Self-awareness really is the key. And to maintain self-awareness, meaning higher self-awareness, again, your capacity to harness the power of the universe comes from your awareness of your true nature, spirit. For you to be able to maintain that, you have to maintain a certain clarity. Otherwise, it begins to fade away. The awareness begins to fade away. So we're going to talk about the lifestyle that a manifester lives, the lifestyle that leads to being a clear, divine vehicle, so that you can manifest your highest dreams, and those dreams wind up supporting not only you, but all of those around you, your community and the planet.
Well, what a beautiful design, and couldn't come at a better time in terms of we're really in the process of redesigning how civilization works on this planet. So we each have a part of that code, and to do so in alignment with our own highest intuitions and dreams aligned with the divine currents is a great blessing. So again, the whole program is laid out in detail at yoganidracreation.com. If you choose to move forward, you're going to get not only the 7 90-minute live sessions with Marc that we just described, which are a great opportunity to ask your questions and engage in collective inquiry together. You'll get recordings for every session, so you can go back, do the practices again and again. And that's both video and audio, as well as word-for-word transcripts. There'll be weekly exercises that you can do at home. There's a Facebook community to support you and deepen your experience, as well as small group time to connect with other participants. And on the page, you'll also see Marc has been quite generous with bonuses. There's a PDF teaching on Sankalpa template for manifestation. There's also a video teaching on Dharma and manifesting your dreams. You want to share anything about either of those two?
Well, I mean, I think they are just really some core pieces of knowledge, and it's going to supplement the knowledge that you learn in the course. Some of it's a little bit different than is going to be what's in the course. So I really think you should listen to both of those if you can, because it's going to work together to enhance your understanding of Dharma and Sankalpa.
Beautiful. Well, powerful bonuses. And then there's one extra bonus you get if you sign up by midnight tonight, which is our way to encourage you to take the time and go through the page at yoganidracreation.com and tune in with your own inner knowing. And if you're getting that nudge that it's the right next step, then you're going to get a special bonus for doing so today. This is a video teaching from Marc called Spiritual Secrets to Manifesting Your Dreams. Want to share a little bit more about that special bonus?
Oh my gosh, yeah. The spiritual secrets to manifesting your dreams. These are some very, very deep core values that individuals hold that are supportive to manifesting their dreams. Things such as faith, as an example. What is the value of faith in manifesting your dreams? If you don't have faith and you're going through this process, you have an obstacle in the way. Faith is what naturally occurs when the obstacles have been removed and you feel a natural connectedness to the divine. Faith is nothing fake. Faith is a real power. It's a real power that moves from above down and the inside out. So faith is one of those secret tools, if you will, spiritual tools that most people don't realize just how powerful that is. And in that video, I'll be talking about several other ones, such as non-judgment, non-attachment, and other high values of yoga that really work to support you to reach your full potential.
Hmm. Great. Well, it's a great extra reason to sign up right away. The Spiritual Secrets to Manifesting Your Dreams. Well, it's clearly going to be such a useful program and really such a blessing for everybody who takes it. It's and we've kept the investment very accessible. It's just three payments of $128. You can save 10% when you pay in full with one payment of $349. The course is going to start July 30th and run Wednesdays at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. But even if you can't make the live times, you can still get the full value with the recordings, the transcripts, and the community as well. Some beautiful testimonials on the page from Marc's students, both at Shift and through the College of Ayurveda. Really great stuff. He has been really delivering the goods in terms of the ancient teachings for a modern context and modern students. And so you're really going to be blessed to receive the fruits of 40 years of study and practice and demonstration and action. So you're in really good hands, and I think you'll be blessed by the results in your life. So again, it's all at yoganidrakreation.com, and you'll get that special bonus on the spiritual secrets to manifestation when you sign up by midnight tonight. So, Marc, we're nearing the end of our time. Always great to be with you. Anything that's still on your heart you want to share with folks who are considering joining you for the course?
Yeah, whenever I am out in the community teaching this knowledge, I've been teaching it through the California College of Ayurveda to our students for a long, long time. And just just last week, I was a keynote speaker sharing some of this knowledge with youth, with a youth leadership group. And what inevitably comes up is, I wish I knew this knowledge earlier. I teach to people sometimes who are 40, 50, 60, and oh my gosh, what if I knew this when I was 20? When I was teaching to the 20 years old, what if I knew this when I was just a kid going through high school? And at this last program, there were some kids in high school that were there, and they were so grateful for learning this knowledge because it is essential knowledge for life itself. We all have a dream, whether we're 16 or whether we're 60. We have a dream for what the rest of our lives is going to look like. And at the highest level, all of the manifestations of our dreams lead us deeper into love. And I think love is the ultimate dream that we all have, to be loved and to be the embodiment of loving others. And the knowledge is the same. When we connect deeply with spirit, we allow it to flow through us. We are the instruments of beautiful music in the world. And everything that comes out of us is celestial. It's divine.
Hmm.
So I hope you'll be able to join us for that.
Hmm. Celestial beauty and divinity. What a blessing. So thank you, Marc, for that invitation. Thank you for the course. Thank you for all of your wisdom. And if you'd like to go further with Marc, you can do so at yoganidrakreation.com. And I think you will experience many beautiful blessings in your life if you do so. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Stephen.